Hi there, this is Dot Porter. I'm the Curator for Digital Research Services in the University of Pennsylvania Libraries. And I'm here to present the third of four tutorials to explain the process of creating a physical manuscript collation visualization using the tools that we've been developing here in the Schoenberg Institute for Manuscript Studies. So you should have already seen the first two tutorials. The first was about creating a collation model using our collation modeler form. The second was on creating an image list using Excel. And this one is about generating the collation visualization using those documents from the first two tutorials. So we're here on the GitHub page for the project. I'm just going to scroll down. So we've already created a collation model. We've created an image list, and next is generating the collation visualization. Now, before we do that, we need the collation model and the image list, as I already said. So I need to get those. So this is just to sort of go back and see what we've already seen. So we've already been here. I just need to download the Old English Hexateuch file. So here we are. This will look familiar. I mentioned, I think during the first tutorial, that the one that we need is the leaves XML. The fourth and final tutorial will be comparing the leaves XML with the joins XML. I think very few people will want to get into that much detail, but if you're interested, it might be fun. We're just going to download the leaves XML. So we're going to download that, and I'll get that in a minute. Here. Let me move this aside. I need to put it in my collation tutorial folder here. So I'm going to grab that. I've already done this before, so I'm going to rename this very quickly. I'm just going to take that out. There we go. So there's our collation model. The next thing I want to do is make the XML version of the image list. So if you've already seen the second tutorial where we create the Excel file, you know that what we actually have to do is save it as an XML document. So we just open it up, File, Save As, and then from this drop-down menu, pull down and select Excel 2004 XML spreadsheet. Yep. And it will save right there in that folder. Continue. And then when I close this, you'll see that new file right there. Now there's one more thing that I want to explain before we actually go through the generation process, and that is that the naming of the image list file is very important. There's a very particular way that it needs to be named, and it's described here on the VisCol page. Here we go. As of right now, the image list file must be named according to the shelf mark in the collation modeler, but with all spaces removed. So if our collation model XML file, which I'll open right here, if that has a shelf mark that's Cotton MS Claudius B4, we need to give that image list file, this name, but remove the spaces. And so if we look at our image list XML file, you'll see that's exactly what we've done. It's Cotton MS Claudius B4, and then dash image list with a lowercase I and a capital L. In a future version, I think we're going to change this so the naming of the file isn't important, but right now it really is. So if you don't name it correctly, the process won't work. So to generate the collation visualization, you can follow this tiny URL here. I've already opened it. And it will look like this. It's not very sexy, but it works, which is really what's important. So I am going to, there we go. I am going to choose my collation model, which is this file here. And you can see this is what it looks like, the XML. So I'll put that in. Next, we're going to upload the image list. That saved spreadsheet. And we're going to drop that in there. And then we hit submit, boop, and it will think. Not for very long though. There we go. And it will save it as a little zip file called viscol.zip. So I'm just going to grab that and pull it into this tutorial folder. And then we're going to unzip it. You may need to use unzipping software. And then inside there you've got a folder that again is named according to your shelf mark with the spaces removed. And then when we open this up, what we get is an HTML page for each choir in the collation model. And then this units folder contains larger, rather other HTML pages that provide larger views of each bifolium. And it will appear in a certain way in here. So without further ado, let's just open up one, which I'm picking pretty much at random. Here we go. There we go. So this is what a finished collation visualization looks like. You have a diagram of the choir over here. Now it just happens that the illustrated Old English hexateuch is not very, I guess at least choir 9. It's just a regular 8 folio or 8-leaf choir. Over here, we're pulling in the images from where they live online. And what we have is a bifolium view. So we have 61 verso here and 68 recto here. It's the inside of the of that bifolium, and then here's 68 verso and 61 recto. So you can imagine it's as though we've taken the book apart, and here's the outer bifolium, and then we turn it over, and here's what it looks like on the other side. But we don't actually have to take apart the book, which is pretty great. Now, if you want a larger view, that's what that units page is for. So you have to, for some reason, it pulls it down, and we're going to fix that. But there, you flip it over, and you flip it over, and it's pretty great. So if we can find a manuscript, I think there's one that has 9. I thought there was one that had 9. That's labeled incorrectly. That's no good. But this one has 9 folios, and you can see this is one that has been added. And if we scroll down, we can see there is our added folio, and you can view that as you would another page. There we go. And there's just nothing connected to it because it's by itself. So there we go. That's generating the collation visualization. And the next tutorial and the final tutorial will be looking at the differences between the two collation models that we make available for you. So I hope this has been interesting, and feel free to come on and try out the collation modeler and try to make a collation visualization, try to break it. Let me know how it goes. Thank you very much, and I look forward to hearing from you.